everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Fast and Fun Projects. Just checking in. It looks like we're connected to YouTube. So hello, ladies. You're already here. Victoria, Annette, Sue, Jane, and Cindy. Hello, all of you. Glad you were able to join us. And I think we're just double checking that. Yeah, there we've got some gals coming onto Facebook. So hello, Carmel from Brisbane. So we've got connectivity across the world. There's Shirley from Ohio. Welcome, everybody. If I haven't introduced myself or if we haven't met before, my name is Noreen Smith. I am the Product Development Creative Manager at Creative Memories, and I get to be with you each and every Wednesday. So this is actually going to be the last time that I'm going to be with you live this year. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more at the end, but next week, between Christmas and New Year, I'm going to be taking a bit of a break, taking some time with family, and we are going to have a special pre-recorded Fast and Fun episode for you. So again, I'll talk to you more about that in a little while. But yeah, this is my last time being with you live in 2023. I can't believe how fast the entire year has gone. And the next time I see you, it will be 2024. Crazy. And we're only, today's the 20th, so we're only 5 days away from Christmas now. Oy, oy, oy. As you know, I've kind of set the intention of having a slow and easy, a stress-free, a joyful December, not worrying about what's not getting done or what's not perfect or, all that kind of stuff. So far, we've really managed to do that. I had a bit of a panic on the weekend when I realized that I hadn't really done any shopping yet. So that's when, overnight delivery comes in awful handy, and a quick trip to a couple of stores around the area, although it was crazy crowds, and I'm pretty much set. So it's, it all comes together. And I know especially we moms, we women, we worry so much about making it perfect for everybody, making it perfect for our kids, perfect for our husbands, our family, our significant others, perfect for visitors who come into our home. But, years ago, I remember my mom, she was, if you could call it a compulsive housekeeper, all the time she was cleaning. So she always wanted to have it company ready. But, really, I think she always impressed upon me that the company is what's important, really. Your house, what you look like, what you're dressed like, what you're serving. Those things are less important than the relationship that you have with the people who come into your home to celebrate with you. So that's what I try to keep in mind. And this December has really been lovely. I have thoroughly enjoyed all of the activities that me and my family have been doing, my family and I should say. And, again, just kind of relieving myself of that stress right up front has been one of the best things that I could have done this year. So whatever your situation for the holidays, getting prepped for the holidays, I hope that you have found some moments of joy and peace and, tranquility and stress-freeness as I have. So just throwing that out there. Hello, everyone. We've got gals from Florida, Edmonton, Pennsylvania, Alabama. That's, I think, my friend Nicole. Perth, Australia. It looks like, okay, I'm going to make a mess out of this. Okeechobee, Florida, Illinois. And then someone saying again, 5 days to go. Ho, ho, ho. Cheers and joy to you and your family. That's what it's all about. Cheers and joy. So thank you for those holiday wishes. Now, again, I think really what I want to show you today is just, some of the things that me and my family have been doing. My family and I, sorry. The grammar teacher in me corrects, right? But I want to show you some of the things we've been doing and tell you some of the stories, because that's what really I've been focusing on in my December days. I've been looking for connections and for stories, and not just focusing on, again, a chore of having to fill this album, with a photo a day or journaling each and every day, but just looking for all of those things that I'm thinking about and that I want to capture and remember for another year. Okay, so I'm going to flip you over here and we're going to go through. I don't have all my pages done and there's some that I still am working on, but I'm going to show you a few of the ideas that I've been trying to incorporate. And hopefully you can take some of these ideas and put them into your December days. And if you're not doing a December days, maybe you do a few pages after Christmas, you know, kind of showcasing all of the different things that you and your family have done. And maybe you can take some of these ideas into those regular sort of 12 by 12 traditional layouts. But let me flip you over and I'm going to show you what I've been up to. Let me make sure that we've got it here. There we go. Okay. Let me show you what I've been up to. And again, I'll just point out that I am using the Happy Album. I want to make sure anybody who hasn't been joining us over the last few weeks that they know kind of what we are working on, what we're up to. So I'm using the Happy Album, which is 6 3/4 by 10 inches. I really enjoy this size. Last year I did my Happy Album, I did my December days in an 8 by 8. And one of the things I showed earlier this year was the idea of taking an 8 by 8. This is just our standard ruby 8 by 8, available all the time, and kind of cutting apart and putting in 2 of the Christmas cheer paper albums. And that becomes great base pages for an entire little album. Okay, so again, if you're interested in either of those ideas, I think I've linked to kind of the flip through of my last year's, my 2022 book, and you can go back to earlier in December, mid-November and early December when we put this one together. And again, I'll just kind of show you what I've got here. This is just one of my power sort boxes, the boxes that we sell for photo organization. And I've just been keeping some of my supplies in here. I've got my Peekaboo Pockets, some embellishments, baker's twine and ribbon, a couple of the punches that I've been using, extra December days date circles, and I will put the link to those again. And then my December days supplies, excuse me, I've been keeping all of them together in one Power Project folder, and it's been great to have everything together. So I've got all my little scrap pieces. I've got my mat cards, and again, I've got 2 sets of mat cards because I'm using the horizontal pocket pages, and the mat cards are great to be able to just slide in. I've got, oops, I'm stuck there. I've got some of my little December days date circles all punched out. Once you download and print these onto some cardstock, you can use the 1 3/4 inch circle punch to punch those out. So I've got a bunch already punched here, as well as some more of the ornaments, the embellishments. And then inside all of my paper, again, the larger pieces. So you can see that anything that's still, you know, a good size, I put into this center section. Anything that is more of a scrap or a strip, I'll put into this front section. And then on the back, I have my Christmas cheer stickers. And then I also have some of my letter stickers. And I added in the serif, the sans serif, the white sans serif, along with the silver metallic script. I've got the black serif and the white serif. So I used the sans serif actually this week. So I just thought I'll put them all in there just in case I need to use them. So that's how I've been staying organized. And really, I've been kind of, you know, spending a few minutes each day making sure that my photos are ready to go, printing off photos, thinking about how I want to tell the stories, doing a little bit of kind of, you know, journaling, or not journaling, but, you know, jotting down some notes, that kind of thing. And then when I'm coming to my actual album, it's really easy to start putting some of these layouts together. So I'm almost caught up. I still have a few things that are left undone because we still haven't finished them in our family. So I'll just do a quick flip through, show you what's changed, what hasn't. So this was my kind of my title page. I talked about the intention of that I wanted to focus on joy. I've got a little calendar here that I made on Canva, and I put this in a 5x7 Peekaboo pocket and made the little wreath on top. So again, I really enjoy out of the pocket types of projects, embellishments, that kind of thing. I love interactive things. I love tip-ins and flip-outs. So that's what you'll see a lot in my album. Haven't changed. This one was complete. So this was the Light It Up, where we used the leafy vine punch, and we just went ahead with some of our markers to create the little light bulbs. The wish list I talked about last week, both of my boys, a couple of, pictures from the last, I think I took them the week before last. They gave me their wish lists. I wrote them on the cards and a little bit of journaling. So, I mean, some of these layouts are super, super fast, but I'm so enjoying being able to go back through them, just like I enjoy going back through my 2022. And I've been doing this for, well, probably since about 2009, 2010. So I enjoy going back through all of my December days albums, and kind of looking at some of the little notes that I've written, some of the things that I've added in. It brings me a lot of joy, especially at the beginning of December, to kind of think about what we've done in the past. This is one I actually want to ask you guys a question about, because oh my, and I'm sorry that if I've seen several posts about my little Starbucks cup here, and there was a bunch of people that were like, I just can't get over the perspective of that, and they've been trying to create their own Starbucks cups or takeaway cups that are in perspective in the way they want. And the biggest thing they don't like is, I think, that there's this little sleeve looks like it's not going around the cup. So please do whatever makes your heart happy. Don't worry about whether mine's in, perspective or not. I just want you guys, if to have that as an idea. And again, if you wanted to do something more like a mug, this was another idea that we had from last year. So again, not perspective, not completely correct, even though I used to teach perspective to my art students. But again, it's the feeling, it's the idea, it's capturing kind of that fun element. So do what makes you happy. If you want to create a much more realistic insert, please go ahead and definitely continue to share some of those in the group. This is a layout that I have not finished. I've mentioned a couple of times that, there was more coffee to drink, so I still have some pictures to incorporate. But I do want your help on this one because I need a title for this one. Now, last year, I think I called it Christmas in a Cup, right? So that was fun. I should have called this one Hug in a Mug. And then I could have called this one Christmas in a Cup, because the mug idea doesn't go too well with this sort of to-go cup. So I would love to hear some ideas for a title for this little layout, which takes, it talks a lot about beverages and coffee and my love of that. So that will continue on. You'll see the finished layout when I share my, I'm going to share my entire finished December Days album during the completed album challenge at the end of the month in the Virtual Crop Facebook group. So again, any ideas for title pages that I could use for the coffee layout, definitely leave those in the comments. All right, that one was pretty much finished. Again, just some of my some things about my family. Remember, I also said that I will probably go back. Oh, Cup of Joy. That is a good one. Thank you for that. Cup of Joy. I think that's it. Oh, Christmas to Go. That's another one. That's a good one, Sue. Thanks. Yeah, definitely keep putting those in there, but I'm sure that some of those ideas will be wonderful. Back to this one. I did mention when we were talking about this page here about putting a little slit at the top of the sealed channel in these pages. And I probably will go back and do that with coordinating paper once I'm done, pretty much the entire album. So again, you'll see some of that kind of those finishing touches added at the end. Okay. All right, so then still waiting for some family photos. We had fun with this one. I talked a lot about the castle, the Christmas at the castle, the Banff Springs Hotel. We talked about doing kind of double photos on a single 4x6 or 6x4 page. And again, we talked a little bit about actually using Canva or whatever other kind of design software you're familiar with. If you use Artisan, you could still do the same idea here, but actually printing your journal onto one of the cards, so with your computer. So again, really fun and easy. All right. So, and then we did the full page photo, which we had lots of fun with. So those are some of the things we've covered before. Let's go on. And I told you that I still had a few stories that I wanted to tell. This is about the Banff gondola. And as we talked about last week, my family and I spent a wonderful kind of not long weekend, but extended weekend in Banff. And that's been a fantastic, relaxing thing that we did for ourselves. But the story about the Banff gondola is that this year, you can take the gondola up to the top of Sulphur Mountain anytime. It's open year round. I've been in winter before, but what they've done this year is they have a program called Night Rise. And when you're up at the top of the gondola at nighttime, the views are incredible. And they've incorporated, sound and lights, and it's a very interactive sort of experience. Plus, they have incorporated a huge amount of Indigenous history. And, I've lived in Calgary, Banff area all my life, and there were stories and information presented during this that I had no idea about. So it was incredibly rich and incredibly historical to think about our Indigenous peoples and the history of them in this land. So I really, really enjoyed it. But here was some of the photos. We got up there. Now, the weather in Banff was great that weekend, but of course you go up, what's the elevation? 7,500 feet in the gondola. And you get to the top of the mountain and you're subject to, about 10 to 15 degrees colder than you are in the town site. And of course, we really felt that. So there's hubby and son, Grayson, overlooking Banff. So this is actually a photo of how you could see the town of Banff from the gondola. And then I wanted to show that as we, as night fell, as night rose, how the city kind of came alive, or the town came alive with all of the lights. So there's, kind of at dusk, there's all the lights. And then, kind of when it was fully dark and we're going down in the gondola. So it was really, really spectacular. We had a great time. I purposefully kind of covered up this part. And very much like when you go to any, any ride, any excursion, you'll often have the chance to get a photo. So the photo of us taken in the gondola was presented to us in this little sort of folder. So I wanted to use that particular folder. The whole thing would not fit into one of these pockets. So I kind of created this little accordion, and it's just a two Peekaboo pocket pull out. And so here I added the photo of us taken in the gondola, and then a couple of others. I put them in here specifically because these kind of photos, the coloring was, my red coat and that kind of purple background. It really didn't go with the tone, I guess, the very wintry blue tones of these other photos. So kind of having it hidden behind this, almost like a little title card really helps create, a bit more of a cohesive element. But then when you open it up, you see this blue purple sort of details. And then we've got, another extra room for another photo on the other side. So again, just that idea of the night, the difference in color, the difference between the dusky time and the nighttime. So I still have to do a little bit of work here. I loaned my snow-capped mountain punch to a friend. So I need to get that back because, of course, wouldn't that be the perfect border, for showing us up in the mountains and looking over the town of Banff, Cascade Mountain in the background. It's just stunning. And I am so, so lucky that this is my backyard. This is where we get to come regularly and frequently. So I love it. Okay, so that's the gondola. Here's another little layout I finished off. There again, very simple pictures, but it's the story that's important to me. So my son Sam, I've always called him Baby Bear. Our favorite mall, Shinook Mall in Calgary, had these incredibly beautiful, super tall statues of polar bears. So this is a 2-story mall. So you can see that the polar bear, the base is on the lower level, and he's peering up onto the second level. So when you come up to him on the second level, he looks like he's looking you right in the eye. But these huge, huge, impressive statues, we love going around and seeing all of the different decor. But Chinook is our favorite. There's a huge, huge tree. Sam is a great little shopping companion. He loves to walk around with me. Plus, he's my baby bear. So we kind of, talked about that a little bit when we saw the bears. And so that's kind of the little story that I had here. So I used the polar bear border punch. Now, of course, that's just perfect. That one can be used for, black bears and all other kinds of bears, but it's particularly perfect for this layout. And I just called it Shinook Bears because it was the Chinook Mall. I'm going to be using the polar bear punch again really soon because the polar bears have just come back to the Calgary Zoo. So we have our season's passes for the zoo, so we'll be going to see them. They just arrived December 1st. We haven't made it down yet. We'll be going to see them again soon. So again, really simple layout, some photos, a double card. This card, actually, I cut a tag out from another card because this one had that one had a stocking, I think, on top of it. So I cut a card kind of in half and just basically used the parts that I wanted. Now I'm not going to be able to find it for you to show you, but there it is. Yeah. So it did look like that, but I just cut that part off and chose another, cut the tag off another one and put it on top. So again, mix and match. Even though we've got our wonderful mat cards, you can mix and match so it works with the total feel of your page. And then for the border, I just took a 12-inch by 2-inch strip, put my polar bear punched border on top. I think I punched it from white shimmer. It doesn't really show underneath the lights and underneath the page protector, but I punched it from black and white shimmer, and then I just backed it with the black just so it had a little bit of shadow, because of course I don't want to put a lot of foam squares to create actual dimension in these layouts. So in order to make it look like it has a bit of a shadow, I just added that black layer underneath. And just for those of you, it's just a kind of a fun fact. Chinook is, again, an indigenous name for the wind that comes over the Rocky Mountains from BC. And that's what enables Calgary area to have these incredibly warm temperatures in the middle of winter. So we can go from minus 30 Celsius to plus 14 Celsius, 45-degree temperature shift because of these Chinook winds. So again, I love all of the kind of the history and the connectivity of some of these things. So that's our little Chinook Bears page. All right, so talking about foam squares, I created this page and I I'm not 100% sure that it's going to work, but I have an alternate idea that I want to share with you just in case it doesn't. So this spread is going to be about our Christmas tree. And my other son, Grayson, is typically my Christmas tree helper. And I don't know if these ones will stay here or not, but these are really the only two photos that I have right now of the Christmas tree because he was helping me decorate. And he was putting the star on top. So he put the star on top. Of course, it fell over kind of like a little Grinch. So he was like, oh, that was a fail. And he said, Mom, here, I fixed it. You've got to get a new picture of it. So kind of a fun perspective there. And again, a little bit of a story. And I was thinking that I actually might include some of the photos of him putting the star in the tree when he was younger. So again, just kind of comparing and talking about that this is a tradition that he has always enjoyed and that he continues on. I think I'll probably put a double photo. Again, anytime I've been creating, anytime I've been using the 4x6 orientation of photos, I've been importing them or uploading them into Canva and then printing two photos onto one horizontal 6x4. So that way, not only am I getting more photos onto my layout, into my album, but if I forget to take a horizontal, a landscape photo, if I end up taking, tall photos, portrait style photos, then I still have a way that I can incorporate those into my album. So I think on this page, I will probably have a double photo of our finished tree. Again, more just, so that I can kind of see what our tree looks like from year to year. But up here, I started playing around with the idea of, I'll just move these little flags so you can see, of transparency. So of course we have these, transparent pockets. And I love the ornaments that we have with this collection. And if you haven't seen them, they are so much fun because you can mix and match and create your own. So they come, basically as sort of the frame, and then you have a wide variety of different patterns that you can mount your frame part of your ornament onto so that you create whatever sort of style you like. And of course, there's all different, colors. So you can see that here's a different round one. And if I could put that on the green, it will have a completely different look. So again, I thought that the ornaments would be a fun thing to incorporate here on this page about the tree. But I thought what would be really neat is if I could make them so that they appear to kind of be floating, so that I can take advantage of that transparency that will be on this, or in this, using these pockets. So all I've done here, and again, I'm not 100% sure how it will work, but I've just got a little half-size mat card that I would put in here, and then I would back it on this side with another half-size mat card that will work with whatever spread I have here. And then I put these on the outside of the pocket. So they're on the outside of the pocket. Photos and mat cards slide inside. These are on the outside. And I adhered one just with tape runner. And then this one is popped up with some foam tape so that it's really nice and sturdy. And then the idea is that I would come along with the same shape and put that on the other side. So maybe I'd put a solid one, or maybe I'll put this one. So I would adhere that on this side of the pocket, and then I would use some foam tape and adhere another one to cover over on that side. So again, just something a little bit different, something to kind of take advantage of that see-through aspect. And then whatever's going to be on this page, you'd be able to see through the pocket. So I'm hoping that works. This page is going to be about baking. I've been procrastinating with my baking a little bit. we at Creative Memories Home Office are closed on Friday. So tomorrow will be our last day in the office. And I'm planning on doing most of my baking on Friday. We're going to get up, on Friday morning. We're going to be in our pajamas. We're going to have hot chocolate and put on some Christmas music or Christmas movies, and we'll do our baking. Today was actually the last day of school for both my boys, so everybody will be home. So I thought that I would leave baking until Friday morning. So we're only going to make 2 or 3 things. So this is going to be the baking spread. So I'm really hoping that I can kind of do that, kind of for front and back of these beautiful little ornaments. But I don't know exactly what it's going to look like on this side. So before we go and finish these last couple pages in here, I want to show you another idea that I've been playing around with, that I might use instead. If I can't make the front and back transparency work, I'm going to use this idea instead. Now, some of you know that I love all things pens, mixed media. Our dot tip pens in particular, I have fun with a lot, and I enjoy coming up with new ideas to share with you and kind of create something a little bit different. So I think I came across a calligraphy account on Instagram that was creating some really neat little designs with dot pens of different colors. Currently, we have just the silver and gold for sale, but in the past we've offered a variety of other dot tip pens. So I thought that I would take this idea that I saw and kind of adapt it. So what I did was I took our Gemstone custom cutting system, and you can see the diamond on the inside, and then I used the blue blade to basically cut out my diamond. Let me just grab the the positive piece over here. So you can see I just cut out the diamond. But then I used this as a template for my dots. So I just kind of put it over top of some black paper, because of course the silver and gold looks beautiful on black. And then I just pounced inside that area, and you can see that it created a really fun sort of bulb shaped ornament. I've just drawn a little line and little bow there, but I wanted to show you that something like this idea could be adapted for an ornament page. So I've got another just piece of black. This is a 6 by 4 inch piece, and again I chose that size because if I need to, I want to be able to put that right into this pocket. So let me got a couple of different things here. So I've got this little template, which was made from the medium circle and the red blade. So this was the diamond with the blue blade. Now I did keep this little punch out piece because you can also take advantage of that from the positive and negative perspective. Now you could also do this with circle punch or any other shapes. You could use your squares. You could use pretty much anything. So I would just go ahead and punch out a sort of a template or a stencil, and definitely hang on to these white insert cards that you pull out of the pockets, because you can use them for all kinds of things. You can use them to mat other photos, and that's just what I've used here. So what I thought I would do is, where did my little punch out circle actually go? I can't see it. So, oh, I put it over here. So I thought what I would do is I would do a couple of ornaments horizontally so that I could use this to insert into that little space if I need to. So I'm going to just kind of place this, not really randomly, but I'm going to move it off to the side here. And then I'm actually going to take this and cover over part of it, because I want some of these to look as though they are overlapping. So I've kind of created almost like a little moon. And then all you're going to do is take the juicy end. I love that word, juicy. The dot tip end, which is nice and fat. And you can see that by pressing down, fairly hard or holding it for a moment, you can get a nice big fat circle. But by just kind of touching it to the surface, you can get smaller circles. And what you want to make sure you do is that you go over the edge of your stencil and onto wherever it is that you're, whatever it is that you're kind of, stenciling onto. So onto the paper. And then I'm just going in with my silver, and you can just have fun and kind of fill in all of these dots. Again, just making sure that you get all the way around sort of done, because that's what's going to give you that nice sort of sharp edge like you can see there. So just alternate. Again, if you have other colors, if you took advantage of the promo that we had earlier this year with some of the other metallic colors, those would be gorgeous. On black, you could do it on white with some of our more sort of solid or regular colors. But yeah, you're just filling in all of this space, and it's just kind of pouncing them up and down. It doesn't matter if you're going over some of them. Okay, just a couple more here. And I'm not quite filled in, but let me just kind of pull it away, because that's the aha, fantastic moment. Okay, so that would be the edge of my little circle. So I could just go ahead and draw a little line as if it was a ornament. Then I can take off that little extra piece, line it up like this. Now I probably should have waited for that other circle that I just did to dry. And I've got a little bit of adhesive there that I didn't move. But now you can see you can just use that as a stencil and create. I'm just going to go over the edges really fast. It's not going to be filled in completely, but you get the idea that you could create a card front with this. That would be a stunning little Christmas card if you've got a few more that you need to finish up in the near future here. But you can see that when you pull that one off now, it's going to look like that ornament is on top or in front of this other ornament. So again, if you had different colors, that would be great to do them in different colors. Okay, so if I can't figure out a way to make this work with my transparent ornaments, then I will probably do something like this, but I might do it in red and white, for example, or red and silver to match the colors of my tree. But I'll put a little card in here that I have created. Okay, but I just thought I'd share that idea with you, because again, maybe you want to create some card fronts with this technique, or maybe this is something you want to add onto a black album page, or as 4x6, 6x4 that you can put into a pocket page. So, I mean, even just, happy holidays on here would be a lovely little insert card. Okay, so just a fun thing to think about with our silver and gold pens. All right, let me clear this away, and I'll show you my last couple of pages, my last couple of ideas for you. All right, so that will be, you'll be able to see what I end up doing with my ornaments or with my Christmas tree page here. And of course, you'll see my baking page here. And fingers crossed that the baking turns out. All right, my last page in the album here, and again, I may end up adding a couple more pages in here, because we do have a concert to go to on Saturday night. We're seeing some family. As I mentioned, I do have that one spot back here in my album kind of reserved for some more family photos, but I may have to add a couple more pocket pages in here. But just as I did in my for kind of my last page of the album last year, and I've done this in a couple of other December days. I've included a copy of our family kind of photo card. So this was with seasonal sightings. I had a little envelope, which was fun, that I did some journaling on, and again, just a copy of our family photo. So here, this was our family photo that we took up in the mountains, and I just used that same technique in Canva that we talked about when I was talking about last week, the Christmas in the Castle picture. This was just a photo. I imported it or uploaded it into Canva, and then I added the text directly onto the photo. So when I printed it out, it was already there. That's the same thing that I do for my holiday photos. So this is just Merry Christmas, McAllister Family 2023. Okay, so that is the kind of the final photo, or it will be the final photo. And here, just for a little bit of a change, what I did is I started out with a 6 by 6 inch piece of paper. I cut 2 of those. Again, that's why I have a couple of packs of these. I cut 2 of the little tags. You could also use your tag maker, of course, but I cut 2 little tags from some of my mat cards, put them on the 6 by 6 paper, did my journaling, and added a few stickers, and then I just trimmed that bottom 2 inches off so that it could look like there was a 6 by 6 design. Very similar to the idea of taking a large photo and cutting it down so that it goes into each one of the pockets. So instead of doing 6 by 10, I did 6 by 6 and then cut it into 2 pieces. So that will be the final page in my album in terms of with photos. But the last thing I wanted to show you is how I think I might store my Christmas cards in this album. I really enjoy getting Christmas cards. Of course, I love the photo cards that come, the little handmade cards that come. And for many years, I would put them into a pocket in our family Christmas album. But because the album is 12 inches wide, I would create a pocket at the bottom, and there would be so many photos that it would almost be too much. It would be like sort of too heavy. I really like the happy album size for cards because the cards are typically long and narrow, so they fit in here really, really nicely. So I think that's what I'm going to do this year. And I thought I would add in a regular page. So I've got another page here just to show you. Instead of a pocket page, I'm just adding in a regular page. But I've created a fun little pocket here. So I want to show you how I created the pocket. And again, this is maybe something that you could use in a happy album size or in an 8 by 8 size. Because, of course, it's hard to create a sturdy pocket in a 12 by 12. What you have to do in a 12 by 12 is, you've got a 12-inch strip of paper, and you have to just basically adhere around the edges. And that makes a very sort of flat pocket. And when you're trying to slide things in, it tends to pull away from the album page. But when you have paper that's bigger than your page, you actually are able to create a little pocket that is much more sturdy because we're going to be able to adhere it in a different way. Okay, so let me talk you through this. I have an extra page here, but I actually think I'm going to do it on the back side of this page. I won't probably adhere it until I pull that out, but let me walk you through how I created it. So I took a piece, let me back up. This measurement here, the regular page between the jeeping, is the 6 3/4 by 10. Okay, if you measured the entire paper, it's about 7 1/2. Okay, but between the two jeeping, that's where we get the 6.75, the 6 3/4 measurement. So I decided that I would take that measurement and add an inch to it so that I would have 1/2 inch sort of score and fold lines that I could use to adhere. So basically out of one piece of paper, I can get two 7 3/4 by 6 inch. So again, 1/2 an inch bigger than the Happy Album page, 7 3/4 by 6 inches. Okay, so that's what we're starting with. And then all you need to do, and in this case, my sort of angled line is 2 inches down on one side. So if I'm going to do it on this side of the paper, I want to mark down on this side of my piece of paper. So let me get that little silver metallic pen that will show up nicely. And I'm just going to put a little dot where the 2 inch mark is. Okay, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not. There's a little silver mark right where the 2 inch mark is. And then we're just going to cut that on a diagonal. So a 12-inch trimmer. We're not going to use the 45-degree mark because it's not a 45-degree cut. But I'm going to take that little 2 inch mark, place it on my cutting line, and I hold it there and I just kind of rotate until the corner is also on the cut line. Okay, so there's kind of the opposite to that. That's going to go this way. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our straight blade out, grab our scoring blade. And this basic technique will work for any kind of pocket that you want to add to a page, no matter what your dimensions are. So you can certainly adapt this. But remember that we made it an inch wider. So we're going to score at 1/2 an inch on either side. And I'm also going to score a 1/2 inch up from the bottom. And I'm just going to use my solid edge there. So 1/2 an inch. Now I can come around and put the right side up. 1/2 an inch. So basically 1/2 an inch on all three of my straight sides. Okay, so you get the idea that this is where the adhesive is going to go, and that's what allows this pocket to have a little bit more give. So you can see on the inside there, right there, that is the folded back tab. So now all we need to do is create, where's my scissors? Just create these little sort of tabs. So I'm going to just go up to that little mark on either side. I'm going to trim away just a little bit of the corner. How's this one going to work? I'm just going to trim. I want to trim kind of like this. Okay, and then again. Okay, so now you can see when I fold this up, you can see at the back, it's going to kind of overlap. And that's where I'm going to put my adhesive. So you can use your full strength. If you've got max strength craft tape, if you've got photo tape, otherwise you're going to use your tape runner. And you're going to give it a really good, generous coating. A generous line, because you don't want anything to fall through the pocket all the way around. I went over the edge just a bit there. But that's going to be fine. Let's see if I can get this adhered. So I'm going to line it up. I'm going to use my jeeping as kind of my guideline and the bottom of my page. And there we go. Yep, that worked just fine. I thought I was going to have to get my page flat. Burnishing is always a good thing. So whether you want to do that with your finger or take your multi-purpose tool and really rub that down. Okay, and now I've got a pocket on both sides for my photos. And again, you're going to see how easily they slip in and out. much more easy or much more easily than if you just had a strip of paper and you kind of adhered the edges. So again, just the fact that we're adding that little bit and we're creating those tabs to attach them, that gives your pocket some give, and you're going to be able to put it through, and then it also will really hold them in nicely at the bottom. They're not going to, poke right through the adhesive or get stuck on the adhesive, because there's nothing in. Let me see if I can show you. Your things can go right to the edges because there's no adhesive underneath here. It's underneath the flap. So I hope that made sense. But I think this is a really nice little way for me to, include these wonderful cards that we receive and just pop them into my album with a little bit more ease than if I was putting them into a long 12 by 12 inch page. And I know from experience that it pulls away from the page because you've got kind of those two layers. You've got kind of all of these photos going across a page. So I think this is going to work really nicely. I may still put some of our photo cards into our Christmas album. I'm not sure. But if you are looking for a way to include photos or other pamphlets or memorabilia in your December days, this might be an idea. Okay, so watch for my baking, the rest of our kind of Christmas tree. I need to get some snow-capped mountain borders there. And again, I've been seeing a few ideas for my coffee page to finish up. So all of those things will be finished. I plan on working on those in, the few days after Christmas, before we do a little bit of road trip traveling to see family. But you'll be able to see my entire December daily during the completed album challenge at the end of the month. All right, so let me bring you back here so that I can say goodbye and wish you well for the holidays. I did promise to tell you what we were going to be doing next week. We do have a special recorded episode for you that I want you to tune into, because one of our amazing digital experts from home office is going to be showing you how to create a best of 2023 custom album. You're going to be amazed at how easy it is. I don't want you to be scared. Don't let the word custom or digital, freak you out. But you're going to see how easy it is to create a custom album with over 70 of your best photos from the year. It's going to do all the work for you. You're going to love the result. And our special guest next week is going to talk you through every step of the way, from uploading your photos and creating the album to what it might look like when it comes to you, and how you can actually incorporate it, kind of again, very much like one of our empty paper albums, and put it into an 8x8 highlights of your year album. So I don't want you to miss that. That will be a great way to finish off 2023 by creating a highlights album. And then I want you to join me back here in 2 weeks on Wednesday, January 3rd, for our first episode of 2024. And we're going to be talking about an easy system to help you manage your memory keeping in 2024. So if you are someone who enjoys putting together a yearly album each year, I've got some ideas, and with the help of the product team, we created some new products that are going to help you do just that. So you'll have to join me on Wednesday, January 3rd, to hear all about that and to get yourself set up for success in 2024. Okay? All right, so again, scanning my little list of things to tell you. I will put the measurements for that little pocket in the description, as well as the link to the December days date circle download, so that if you, again, want any of those, you can download them and print them off and punch them out and use them for whatever you like. So much fun. And man, as I said, I've been having a great December with my family, but it's been so much fun being here with you and sharing some of these neat ideas. Again, the December Days album is something that I enjoy because it allows me to do some of these more interactive and, kind of crafty or mixed media things that I might not do in my full-size 12 by 12 traditional albums. So if you like to play around with your supplies and have fun, I hope you give some of these a try. And if not, I hope you enjoy creating your holiday or December memories in whatever format and size you are most comfortable. And we can't wait to see them at the end of the month in the December Completed Albums Challenge. Remember, that's only in the Virtual Crop Facebook group. So again, my weekly plug, my YouTube friends, make sure you've joined Facebook, even if it's just to become part of the Virtual Crop Facebook group. Because of course, next year in 2024, we're continuing with our virtual crops. We're continuing with secret box openings and all of the inspiration that you get from everybody sharing what they do, from Fast and Fun projects, from virtual crops, the December or the monthly completed album challenges. All of those are such rich sources of inspiration for you. So we'll keep you on your toes and keep you creating next year, throughout the entire year. So make sure you join us in the Virtual Crop Facebook group. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I'm seeing lovely, lovely messages for the holiday season. And I want to extend to you all my best and all of the best from everybody at CM Home Office. We are so delighted that you join us and that we have things to share from, with you each week. We're so thankful for your support and the community that's been created in these two different platforms. And we're so thankful that you enjoy using Creative Memories products and in all of your memory keeping projects. So much more to come in 2024. Until I see you on January 3rd, here's wishing all of you Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, whatever you and your family are doing over the next little while. I hope it's a wonderful and joy-filled time for you. Okay? Thank you, everybody, for your good wishes. I really appreciate it. I love you all. We thank you all, and we hope you have a great holiday season. Okay, so tune in next week for our recorded episode, and I will see you in 2 weeks for our next live episode. All right, thanks, everybody. Take care. Happy holidays. Bye-bye.